A green facade hiding dirty money in plain sight. The renewable energy sector is often seen as a beacon of hope. It promises a cleaner future, free from fossil fuels. But there's a dark side to this booming industry. Criminals are increasingly using renewable energy projects to launder dirty money. It's a global problem. This video will explore how they do it. We'll delve into the case of Vito Nicastri, the king of wind, and we'll look at what can be done to stop this. Renewable energy projects are often complex and involve large sums of money. This makes them attractive targets for criminals. Governments around the world are incentivizing green energy. This creates opportunities for exploitation. The fight against climate change is important, but we must also be vigilant against those who would exploit it for their own gain. The mechanics of money laundering, over-invoicing, shell companies, and fake contracts. Criminals employ a variety of techniques to launder money through renewable energy projects. One common method is over-invoicing. This involves inflating the cost of goods and services. For example, a solar panel might be invoiced at twice its real value. The difference is pocketed by the criminals. Shell companies are another tool in their arsenal. These are businesses that exist only on paper. They have no real operations. Criminals use them to hide the true ownership of assets. Money is funneled through these shell companies. This makes it difficult to trace. Fictitious contracts are also common. These are contracts for services or goods that are never delivered. They are used to justify the transfer of large sums of money. These are just some of the ways criminals exploit the renewable energy sector. The king of wind Vito Nicastri and the Sicilian mafia's renewable energy empire. Vito Nicastri, an Italian businessman, earned the nickname King of Wind. He amassed a fortune in the renewable energy sector, but his empire was built on lies and deceit. Nicastri was a key player in the Sicilian mafia's money laundering operations. Nicastri exploited government subsidies meant to promote green energy. He used fraudulent loans to finance his projects, and he hid his assets in a complex web of offshore entities. His case highlights the deep links between organized crime and renewable energy. Spotting the signs, red flags of money laundering in renewable energy. There are several red flags that can indicate money laundering in renewable energy projects. One is unusually high project costs. For instance, if a wind farm is significantly more expensive to build than comparable projects, this could be a sign of over-invoicing. Another red flag is a complex ownership structure. If a project involves multiple shell companies registered in tax havens, this could be an attempt to obscure the true beneficiaries. Frequent changes in project ownership or management can also be a warning sign. The problem of money laundering in renewable energy is not confined to Italy. It's a global issue. Organized crime groups around the world are targeting the sector. They see it as a low-risk, high-reward opportunity. In Greece, for example, authorities have uncovered several cases of money laundering linked to wind farms. And in Japan, the Yakuza, Japan's infamous mafia, has infiltrated the solar energy sector. The global nature of the renewable energy industry makes it difficult to police. Section 6. Combating financial crime strategies for a cleaner renewable energy sector. So, what can be done to combat money laundering in renewable energy? The first step is to acknowledge the problem. Governments, regulators, and industry players must take it seriously. They need to work together to develop effective countermeasures. Enhanced due diligence is crucial. This means conducting thorough background checks on all parties involved in a project, from investors to contractors. It's about ensuring they are who they say they are, and that their money comes from legitimate sources. Section 7. Enhanced due diligence, shining a light on shady dealings. Due diligence is more than just a tick-box exercise. It's about asking tough questions and demanding clear answers. Where did the money for this project come from? Who are the ultimate beneficial owners? These are questions that must be answered. Financial institutions have a key role to play. They need to be vigilant in identifying suspicious transactions, and they need to report them to the authorities. International cooperation is also essential. Criminals often operate across borders. Section 8. Transparency and collaboration. Key weapons in the fight against money laundering. Transparency is another powerful weapon against money laundering. Governments should require greater transparency in the ownership of renewable energy projects. This information should be publicly available, so that journalists, NGOs, and citizens can hold companies accountable. Collaboration is key. Governments, regulators, and industry players need to share information and best practices. They need to work together to close loopholes and strengthen regulations. Section 9. The road ahead: technology, good governance, and international cooperation. Technology can also play a role. Artificial intelligence and machine learning can be used to analyze large data sets and identify suspicious patterns. This can help to detect and prevent money laundering in real time. But technology alone is not enough. We also need good governance. This means promoting integrity, transparency, and accountability in the renewable energy sector. And it means working together to create a level playing field for all stakeholders. The fight against money laundering is a marathon, not a sprint. But by working together, we can create a cleaner and more sustainable future for all.